awesome in our own little dimensions of reality, in our own little spaceships. I'm doing great. So wanted to make a quick video on meditation and people who say that they can't meditate, because I hear this a lot, and people tell me that they try and they can't meditate, and like they're bad at it, and their thoughts are always getting in the way, and blah blah blah, excuse. Like I hear a lot like I'm a bad meditator, or anytime I do it I'm too ADD. I hear that a lot as well. I'm too ADD, and this is all bullshit. There's no such thing as being a bad meditator. The problem is that the biggest problem is that voice that's saying I'm doing this wrong or I'm bad at this, because it's easy for someone to be teaching meditation and say, like, you sit down, you silence the mind, you just breathe, you just be, and it's very much more difficult, even for the person that's teaching that, to actually embody that when they're sitting, because the mind, what these meditation teachers don't tell you is that the mind is fucking nuts. It's crazy. It's always thinking about stuff. It's petty. It's scared. It's angry. It's jealous. It's greedy. It's okay that it's like this. It's a part of our being. This is part of our being a human, to have this side of us that is like this. And just because when we sit down to meditate, we're not like blissed out and our mind is empty, does not mean that we're doing anything wrong. And so I think that the image of someone sitting on the top of a mountain, being completely blissed out, completely in peace, because he meditated, and you should feel like that because you're meditating, it's been 2 weeks, is complete bullshit. And I think even most of these guys that have been meditating their whole lives rarely get to states where they're just like, it's just completely silent in the mind, they're in peace. Usually it takes a long time to develop that. And even when you have that developed, you still have to build towards it in meditation. Like, it doesn't just go like that. And even the top meditators in the world still have crazy monkey mind. They've been in the mountains for 6 months, and they still have this like thought after thought after thought. The difference is that they just sit with it and meditate with it and let it be. And people, you maybe think that this is like wrong and this is bad and you're meditating wrong. So that's just like the whole first point. There is no way to meditate wrong. I think another problem is that these breathing meditations, like focus on your breath, or like have like a mantra, like you keep going back to this mantra, like that's fine if that's like what you want to do. But my favorite form of meditation, and a lot of the better, in my opinion, these are just better forms, but it's called like zazen. It's just sitting. In Japanese, the term is zazen. It's just sitting meditation. You're just sitting with yourself. You're being with yourself. You're allowing thoughts to come up. You're allowing craziness to come up. You're allowing pain and discomfort to all come up, and you're lifting the weight of that muscle of being, and you're sitting with it, and you're just behind it, and all this stuff is coming up, and you're just like, okay, now I'm here, now I'm there, now I'm thinking about this, now this is coming up. And the whole point of that is to just strengthen that muscle of being. You aren't these thoughts. You aren't these changing moods. They're constantly changing. Think about it. It's like angry, happy, jealous, sad, upset, discomfort. It's constantly in flux. It's constantly changing. So how could you be any of these things? Even in the mood you're in right now as I'm talking to you, it's going to be different in 15, 20 seconds. So how could you actually even be any of these things? They're passing phenomena. What meditation is about is going behind the phenomena and realizing that you aren't that, and that these things are just changing, and you're deeper than that. You're behind it. You're almost like behind the scenes. You're not really, but in a way you are. You are it. You're all of it. So there's no need to attach to it and cling. And that's basically what these practices, these breathing, these mantras, these transcendental meditations with these techniques are doing. But I think the Western mind, it's not prepared for that. I don't think that we have the attention span, the discipline, or the focus to do these kinds of meditations that were developed in maybe India or Eastern Asia like thousands of years ago, when people were much more focused, and they actually had a different culture, so they had a different mindset. And in the West, we're very much do, go, accomplish. Meditation is not about accomplishing. It's not about doing anything or reaching any states. The whole point of it is to just sit with what's here now and just be with it. And you can do that at any time. So it doesn't take I mean, as you meditate and you get better and better, that muscle, all that's happening is that muscle is strengthening. That being with. There's no bullshit with. There's no like universe and blah blah. That's all like distraction. That's all bullshit. It's all here. The universe, the spiritual experience is all here and now, and it's right. It's happening right now. It's not anywhere else. This is the final thing, and that's what meditation is about. You're in the final thing. You're in the final act. There's nowhere else to go. Even if you're unhappy and you're angry and you're whatever, you just be with it, and then it's like, usually it just dissipates. So the biggest problem to not being able to meditate is not being able to meditate. It's being fucking lazy, and it's coming up with excuses, and saying that I can't do this is that's the only problem. The only not meditating is having that attitude towards it, and giving up. That's being bad at meditating. Being bad at meditating is not fucking doing it. That's the only rule to it. If you're sitting there and you're trying and you're with yourself and you're doing it every day, even like 10 minutes, you're meditating, and you shouldn't tell yourself otherwise. And one thing that you can do with these being meditations where you're sitting with yourself is to just imagine that you're dissolving as you're sitting with yourself longer and longer, you're dissolving your resistance, your attachment, your pain, your tension, your uncomfort. The breath is a great tool, but you don't need to be focused on like how focused can I be on the breath, because that just creates a whole nother it creates a whole nother mindset and accomplishment. But you can just breathe into this moment right now, whatever you're at, wherever you're at, fully with your body and your energy, and dissolve into that. Become that part of you that's feeling this way, that's in this moment right now. It's not going to kill you. No emotion will ever kill you. Fear, anger, jealousy, it will never kill you. They're just emotions. Yes, they're uncomfortable. Sometimes they want to make you rip your hair out, but nonetheless, they're harmless in a certain sense. If you don't act on them, they're harmless. And the ones that you are avoiding are going to just get stronger. What you resist persists, blah, blah, blah. The longer that you can just sit with these things and breathe with them and let them move through your body and accept them, the more peace, love, and acceptance and ease you will have, because your mind will be adjusted to this. And doing this kind of meditation for 10, 15 minutes a day will actually start working on a subconscious level. And you won't really notice it up here, but over time, your way of being in the world will change, and your actual conscious mind will change. And it happens very subtly. It's like dip by dip by dip. It happens so subtly that you might not notice day to day, but you can look back a year and be like, wow, the way I thought back then was just so different. I was so much more uncomfortable. I had all this neurosis and all these tensions that I didn't even realize I had. And that's what's great about meditation. It's this gradual healing. It's this long-term investment. It's like investing in a long-term stock or something. You're just investing in your mind. And all you have to do is sit with yourself in silence for 10, 15, 30, 60, 90 minutes a day, whatever. Whatever works for you. But I really recommend this practice. And I think anyone who says they can't do it, that's a functioning human being, is full of shit, and they're just being lazy, and they're missing out on one of the best practices that they can implement in their lives for their health and their mind and their happiness. So that's all. Thank you, Lions. Aho.